Hello all, welcome to our channel, where we bring you the most entertaining, intriguing, and thought-provoking tales from the vast world of Reddit. Today we are going to dive deep into 3 stories. So let's begin. Story number 1. Am I the A-word for not giving my husband my escape money when I saw that we were financially struggling? I 34F have recently ran into a situation with my husband 37M and am curious about if I am the AH here or not. So me and my husband have been together for 8 years, married for 7. When I got married, my mother came to me privately and talked about setting aside money as a rainy day/escape fund if worst came to worst. My husband has never showed any signs of being dangerous and rarely even gets upset, but the way my mother talked about it seemed like a no-brainer to have. When me and my husband got together, we agreed I would be a stay-at-home wife. We are both child-free, so that was never a concern. My husband made a comfortable mid-6-figure salary. All was good until about 2 years ago he was injured at work in a near-fatal accident. Between hospital bills and a lawsuit that we lost that ate up nearly all of our savings. I took a part-time job while my husband was recovering, but when he fully recovered we transitioned back into me being unemployed as my husband insisted that it was his role to provide. He currently is working 2 full-time jobs and Ubers on his off days to keep us afloat. Here is where I might be the AH. I do all of the expense managing and have continued to put money into my escape account, although I significantly decreased from $750 a month to just $200 a month. My husband came home exhausted one night and asked about downsizing because the stress of work was going to kill him. I told him downsizing would not be an option as I had spent years making our house a home, and offered to go back to work. He tried to be nice, but basically told me that me going back to work wouldn't make enough. After an argument, my husband went through our finances to see where we could cut back. He was confused when he saw that I had regular recurring withdrawals leading back years, and asked me about it. I broke down and revealed my money to him, which not sits at about $47,000. After I told him all this, he just broke down sobbing. His POV is I treated him like a predator and hid money from him for years even when he was at his lowest. I told him that the money was a precaution I would have taken with any partner and not specific to him. He left the house to stay with his brother and said I hurt him on every possible level. But my mom says this is exactly what the money's for and should bail now. Am I the A-word? So now, let's move forward to story number 2. New partner doesn't want my son to move in with us. Will I be the A-word if I broke it off? I'm sorry about formatting, my mind is a mess right now. So I, 31F, have a beautiful 11-year-old son from my previous marriage. We broke up 10 years ago. I share custody with my ex. I have him every second weekend, ex has him most of the time. My current partner, 36M, and I decided to move in together into his house with his 2 kids, 6F and 8M. I'm currently slowly moving household items when I get spare time, so I haven't fully moved in yet. Whilst dropping my son home to his father's house, it came to light during conversation that my ex has been abusive to my son sometimes. I won't go into detail, but I was incredibly upset. I started creating a plan to get him out, ex and I don't have court orders, and when I got back to my partner's place and told him the situation and how I might have to get majority custody, he had a less than stellar reaction. He seemed less concerned about the incident. More so how I was going to continue working. I start at 5 a.m. most days, and said things like, what about my career? I knew he might live with us but not this soon, I didn't really consider this, etc. I was upset at his reaction. I mean, he's happy for me to move in and raise and financially support his kids and look after them, but why is my son different? I know what I have to do to protect my son, but I'm about to potentially blow up my relationship and tank my career as well to have him back with me. I'm so lost right now and I have no idea what to do. My mind is everywhere. I'm making a call to CPS tomorrow to report what my son has said and going to make arrangements with work. Hopefully I can keep my job. WIPTA if I stop the move and potentially broke things off after this reaction from my partner. Was this just shock about the situation, or is there something bigger here? I know this is a mess, so I'm happy to answer any questions. Edit. I just want to make one thing very clear to people taking the time to read my post. I am going to get my son out of there. I would never leave him in that situation. My question was more so aimed at would I be the asshole for breaking things off because of my partner's reaction. I'm getting my son 100% and making sure he's safe, he's not staying there. My top priority is my son and his safety, that was never in question. Edit number 2, thank you so much to the person who suggested paying for a service to get my son to and from school. You are an absolute genius and I can't thank you enough. Just to clarify, I started very early and didn't know off the top of my head what to do about school. Someone suggested maybe another parent who was looking for money to be there in the morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I might not have to quit my job and find one during school hours. Update. Hey guys, so I had a conversation with him about his reaction and safe to say I think things have officially ended. I can't see myself continuing the relationship given his explanation. I asked him how he felt about my son living with me full time and he said whether it's at my house or moved into his house he can't see us together. He said he has things a particular way that he likes and it would impact him too much. He has 50-50 with his ex-wife and likes his kid-free weeks. He also said that it would be too much financially to take on, not sure how as I'll be going 50-50 on bills and rent. He's actually better off financially having me there. He said he considered having my son with us full-time but not this sudden and soon. He wanted to get financially set up and be more ready and at the moment he isn't ready. I am so confused as to why he even started a relationship with me in the first place knowing full well this could happen. I guess it's just not happening on his timeline. I also asked him how he thought things would go when I moved in. I said to him, I fully expected us to be a proper blended family and to help each other in every aspect with all of our kids. He just kept repeating that he didn't expect me to support his children directly, which I thought was insane. It's like he wanted things together but separate. If that makes sense. Look, he is well entitled to have things his way, but I guess I just don't fit into that little niche that he wants. So now, let's move forward to story number 3. Am I the A word for refusing to let my ex see our kid and saying that she has a mom that wasn't her? I'm using a throwaway so my friends and fiancé don't see this. I, 26M, had my daughter, Belle, 5F, with my ex, Jade, 26F, 5 years ago. We were fresh out of college, she had just moved into my apartment with me and just starting our careers. When we found out that we were going to have a baby, Jade seemed excited and was planning right alongside me for when Belle was going to be born. But 7 months into her pregnancy, Jade decided that she didn't want to be a mother to Belle, saying it would just slow down the progress of her career and she wouldn't be where she wanted to be in life. I'll admit that I did argue with her about this, because Jade wanted to put Belle up for adoption, and I didn't want that due to my own past with my adopted parents. We eventually agreed that Jade would void her parental rights to Belle without going through the courts to do so. After this, Jade and I broke up with her living at her parents' place for the remainder of her pregnancy. When Jade finally gave birth, she only signed the birth certificate and never held or fed our daughter. Jade moved away to the other side of our state and blocked me wherever she could. My daughter's maternal grandparents did send money to help support Belle, but they stopped after Jade asked them to. My now fiancée, Ashley, 27F, had stepped in after she heard what happened between Jade and I. Ashley wasn't exactly a friend of Jade's, more like an acquaintance. Ashley had really helped me out through the first year of my daughter's life. We didn't start off dating right off the bat. We were friends and things just sort of happened. Belle calls Ashley Mama, and it's been that way since she could speak. We just got engaged last year. 2 days ago, Jade had reached out to me over the phone and didn't ask, but demand to see our daughter. Jade had said she matured since Belle was born and was ready to have a co-parenting relationship with me. I was in shock and it didn't register to me what my ex was saying until she told me Belle deserves to be with her real mother. That snapped me out of it, and pissed me off since Ashley had essentially been in Belle's life since she was born. That led me to telling her that she wouldn't be seeing our daughter ever, if I could help it, and that Belle had a mom that certainly wasn't her. Jade started crying after I said that, so I hung up on her. The few mutual friends we have got told by her what I said, and have taken her side, saying that I had no right to keep Belle from her and that I was being too cruel. I now feel guilty over what I told her, and I'm wondering AITA for saying that to her. Edit. To clarify, we just had a verbal agreement that Jade wouldn't be involved in Belle's life as a mother, which is what I meant when saying that she voided her rights, but we didn't go through the courts to do so. That's all for today, folks. Comment below your thoughts and subscribe for daily stories. See you tomorrow.